What makes a good Airbnb? Well, a lot of times it just depends on the reason why you're traveling. If you're traveling for business, your needs are probably going to be different than if you're traveling for pleasure. Or maybe you just want to go visit some family, but you don't want to stay at their house and you don't really want to stay at a hotel either. So what do? You look around online and you see if there's any available Airbnbs nearby. But what makes for a good Airbnb? Well, there are 101 different reasons that make an Airbnb really good. But there is one that you really want to look out for, and I'll tell you what it is. So stick around. My name is Tony. This is Run the Comps. Here we go. Hi, welcome back to Run the Comps, the channel that values up your real estate game. My name is Tony Hughes. I've been a licensed real estate agent, an investor, and a property analyst for well over 20 years, and I have helped countless numbers of investors with their fix and flips, rental properties, and yes, even some Airbnbs. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about Airbnbs from an investment perspective. So when you're looking at an investment property and you're trying to determine if it's a deal or not, a lot of the things you're going to be looking at are what's going to be my strategy with this property? How am I going to get in? How am I going to get out, right? Well, is this property going to be good for a fix and flip? Maybe. If it needs a lot of repairs and you could get it at the right price, maybe so. Is it going to be good for a long-term rental property? Well, that's a strategy that plays out over time. And typically, if you have the wherewithal to get into a property, get it fixed up, get it rented, and hold it for a while, you're going to do okay with that. The same thing kind of goes with an Airbnb, but you look at it a little bit differently because your turnover is a lot faster. Now, there are a lot of data sources out there that you could go to and determine if a Airbnb is going to be financially feasible for you. Places like AirDNA, and there's probably several others out there where you can collect data that helps you understand what rental rates are going to be like, what turnover is going to be like, what occupancy rates are going to be like. It's a lot of stuff to absorb. Then you're looking at the property itself and you have to determine, okay, well, what's it going to take to get this property into such condition that it's going to be durable for the Airbnb business. So let's say that you've been on the hunt recently for another rental investment property and you come across one and you're like, man, that really looks like a good rental property, but the data says this might be even better as an Airbnb. And you're looking at it going, but I really don't know. I mean, what does it take to make this property into a good Airbnb? Well, property here is a good example. I mean, it's right here in a residential neighborhood in a small real estate market, and we found this one. But the thing that made this one appeal to us for our weekend getaway was the fact that we could bring our dog. And so that's one of the things you may want to consider as an Airbnb host is, should I let people bring their pets? Well, if you get your property just right and make it sort of indestructible, then maybe it would be a good deal for you as an Airbnb. Let's go check this one out and see what's going on here. Now, I really don't know a lot of the statistics with this house in terms of when it was built or what the actual square footage is, but I'm not sure that all that really matters. I mean, this is probably a vintage 1960s, early 60s house would be my best guess. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, and it's got a lot of good qualities about it that make it just right as an Airbnb, and especially as an Airbnb where you would allow pets. Okay. Now, this Airbnb property was perfect for us because of this giant backyard. I mean, it's got a really nice backyard. It's all fenced in. These hosts were nice enough to allow pets over here. And you can see this is not an easy crowd to please. Now, there's nothing super special about this house that says, hey, I'm a vacation destination. No, not really. I mean, it's in a small real estate market. We traveled all the way over here from Texas to Shreveport, Louisiana this weekend to attend some college sporting events. And this house happened to be located really close to where we're going to be attending our events, and they allow pets. I mean, that's what makes a good Airbnb for us for this weekend. Now, does that make a good Airbnb for everybody all the time? Not necessarily. Again, it depends on why you're traveling and where you want to be with regards to the proximity to the things that you're going to be doing on your weekend away from home. The dogs are enjoying themselves in this large backyard, and we have some downtime while we're waiting for our next event. So we're just kind of hanging out here at the house. because it's kind of hard to take all these dogs everywhere all the time. And I mean, my goodness, there's plenty of room for them to run around out here. Sometimes when you stay at an Airbnb, you get unexpected surprises, like the dogs next door. When these guys came out, explained very clearly to my dogs that this is their turf and that my dogs should go back in the house. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back in the house, take a closer look at this particular Airbnb. Like I said, nothing special here, nothing that screams vacation destination, but let's go in and check it out. All right, everybody's been herded into the house now. We're gonna go inside. Let me show you. I was talking about durable Airbnbs, right? Well, let's see what we got in here. So walk in and here's the kitchen. It's not much to it. These cabinets were probably original when the house was built and have been painted over. They've done some backsplash, new countertops and sink, up-to-date appliances. So we've had some mild updates here in the kitchen. By no means over the top. Look, it's even got a brand new coffee maker. I'll tell you a little bit about that here in a minute. We've got a refrigerator, washer dryer in case we want to do laundry, all the comforts of home. We even brought our little dog gate so we could keep the dogs isolated to certain areas and be respectful of the host. In here we have the dining room. Again, bare essentials, table and chairs. Ooh, we got Wi-Fi. I'm going to have to upload some videos later, so that's a super big convenience. Sofa, coffee table. Again, very bare essentials here. TV with a Fire Stick. Ooh, what do you think about the World Series? Dodgers are up 1-0 in that series. In the bathroom here, vintage tile. Again, mild updates in the bathroom. It's not over the top by any means, but very clean, usable. Again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. This house has 3 bedrooms, all very simply done. Bed. I mean, what else do you really need? You don't need a lot of artwork or fancy stuff going on in there. And then a couple more bedrooms over here at the back side. Here's another one. Again, very simple, easy to maintain. There's hardwood floors throughout this house. And these look like probably original floors that have been painted over. So that preserves a little bit of the charm of the property. But again, very simple, durable, easy to take care of. This house is just meant for high turnover. I mean, you're gonna have people coming in, going out on a weekly basis. And so you wanna keep everything really simple, easy to clean, and easy to take care of. And the things that you install in the property, you just wanna make sure that you're reducing your risk of high frequency repairs. So the question at the top of the video was, what makes for a good Airbnb? And we've talked a little bit about why people choose Airbnb over hotels. We've talked a little bit about how investors can choose Airbnb as a strategy over, say, long-term rental or fix and flip. And we've talked about preparing a property and making it durable for the Airbnb business. But let me tell you, you remember that coffee maker over there? That's a brand new coffee maker. And when we got here, that coffee maker was not here. And my wife quickly realized that as soon as we checked in. Oh my God, there's no coffee maker here. Well, she sent a text over to the host and the host had a coffee maker here within an hour. I mean, unbelievable service. And so that is what I'm really getting at. And that's what makes a good Airbnb is the host. A responsive host who cares can make your experience that much better. And if you're looking at investing in an Airbnb, you want to think about what can you do to be a good host and get those good ratings and keep that turnover happening, keep that income coming in, keep your occupancy rates high, right? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's get a copy of those text messages up on the screen here. So when we arrived and my wife realized that there's no coffee maker, she reached out immediately to the host and said, hey, there's no coffee maker here. That's something I really expected. And by the way, could you bring a couple of light bulbs over too? And the host was like, sure, no problem. Well, we had to take off and go to our college sporting event. And by the time we got back, the light bulbs and the coffee maker, everything was here and that host had delivered for us. So we were super appreciative of that. And that's what I'm talking about when I say the host can make all the difference. And that's what makes a good Airbnb. So for any of you folks considering investing into the Airbnb business, or maybe you already have 1 or 2 or more, and you already do this kind of stuff and you hire a professional to manage your properties, I mean, that's awesome. But whoever you hire, if you do it yourself, whichever you choose, you just have to be really responsive and make sure you're taking care of those guests every single time. And that is going to keep your ratings high. It's going to keep your occupancy high, and it's going to make everything that much better for you as an investor, as well as your guests who come and stay at your property. So, well, I hope you found this to be somewhat informative today. If you have, please give us a like, subscribe, comment down below. It would be great. Be sure to respond as quick as we can. And until next time, I'm Tony. This is Run the Comps. I'm out.